Well, 150 to 200 APM. See where this goes. Is Noah going to let that drone die? For the Horde! Drone actually going to get away just fine, it looks like. The expansion over here is going to just fine. No spawning pool just yet. This is a pretty aggressive macro strategy here, as far as I've understood. I mean, we're only at 20% here for the spawning pool. Barrack's already completed for Pokmarine. And looks like Pokmarine has already set his rally point up for the natural. See what's there. Gas is B-, so we're going to see a Reaper Scout. Of course, you got to see what Zerg is doing, because so many things that could just kill you early game if you're not careful is Terran. So this Reaper is going to get a lot of information here. He's going to see the natural is already completed by the time Reaper gets there. And he's going to see that the first distractor is taken. The spawning pool will be completed by the time the Reaper gets there. So, now my Zerg knowledge is not the best. What I do know is the Vivid logo looks amazing on Zerg. So I'm pretty sure this is just going to be some early aggression, or not early aggression, just some aggressive play from Nova. I mean, taking that expansion before anything else, as far as I've understood, has always been risky. We're probably going to see, yep, we're going to see 2 queens each. Kind of curious to see where Nova goes. 4 Zerglings coming out, getting ready to take care of a Reaper if it should come, and there's the Reaper. Again, Pokmarine does notice that expansion. Now, with good micro, 1 Reaper could actually kill 4 Zerglings. I've seen it, but it doesn't happen on creep. And Pokmarine knows that, so he's seen everything. We actually see a 3rd hatchery coming down. Alright, before I was kind of curious, is that ballsy? Who knows? Yes. With this 3rd expansion coming out right away, it is ballsy. We also have the metabolic boost being up here right now. We have the natural coming from Pokmarine. There is a little bit of a safety net here, since Nova is going to take 3 bases right away, but pretty sure Pokmarine's going to want to start thinking of a strategy to start putting some pressure on Nova, because once the Zerg starts to snowball, it's extremely difficult to keep them in place, even if you're rolling a top mech. In terms of information, I mean, Nova's sitting at quite a bit of information. He does know this natural is just now being completed at the 6-minute mark, which means by the time this base is fully saturated, this base will already be saturated, and Nova will be just starting saturating his 3rd base. We have another Overlord coming right here, right at the entry point and exit point of most drops. The only other thing Nova really needs to do is just put an Overlord here, and he'll know everything that's going on the map before Pokmarine even has a chance to actually execute his plans. We do have the stim coming. We have Engineering Bay. Let me go ahead and open up the vision. Starting a wall with the Engineering Bay, that's pretty good strategy. I mean, Engineering Bays are pretty tough to kill. And it also creates a nice choke point the way he's doing it. Metabolic boost is completed now. We do have a bunker being made in the wall, a reactor coming down here. Factory's first up. Overlord going to come in, not afraid of suicide, not afraid of dying. Nova is a little close to supply, though. He does have 1 Overlord in the process of being replaced, but if Pokmarine kills this Overlord, that's actually going to supply cap for probably about 10 seconds, not even. So it's not that bad, but actually he's going to have to build another Overlord on top of that. So yeah, that is actually going to stop a lot of production for Nova. Not entirely sure he was watching his supply count at that point, but that's okay. I mean, he is sitting at 3 bases, so the amount of harvesters he has right now is he's at 29. His queens are, let's see how his queens are pretty much using up all their energy on injects. So in terms of larvae, I mean, he had 11 larvae, and he's using them for lots of production, +1 attack. Upgrading for the Zerglings right now. Baneling Nest is down, so we're going to see Zergling Baneling, and my guess is once we start seeing more extractors being placed down, we're probably going to see a transition into Muta or some kind of Roach Zergling Baneling play. Just a guess. A whole bunch of Zerglings going around, just taking a quick scat of things. Probably went to go see here, but I was not watching. I went to go see what's going on at the wall over here. This Reaper is going to try and run away. When you're up against a 3-base Zerg this early in the game, every unit counts. So, excellent saving. Another Overlord dying for Nova. Pokmarine doing a very good job killing that Overlord when he sees him. Nova gauging the strength of this wall and how much is behind it. Bringing the Zerglings back to his base. The Baneling Nest is complete, so it's just a matter of time before we see a lot of Banelings being created here to bust through this wall, and it's not going to take a lot. I mean, you only need, what, 6 banelings can probably destroy both these bunkers, or both these supply depots at the same time. Droning up, massive droning. Both players are tied for harvesters right now. Again, the queens are doing an extremely good job of keeping their energy low. That one's a little high, but overall, I mean, Nova's not missing any of his injects. He has had an average of at least 11 larvae every time I look over. 26, 4 banelings in production, or have already been hatched. 6 more zerglings coming. The +1 for attack is almost completed. I didn't see if he's upgraded the. I can't actually check. I don't know if he's upgraded baneling speed yet, but Nova has pulled ahead with 52 drones at the 10-minute mark. It's an excellent benchmark. 52 drones in 10 minutes. It's very good, very solid play. The Bioforce is going to move across the map. There are centrifugal hooks are just now starting to be upgraded. All right, so that answers that question. We have 4 banelings here. Pokmarine has incredible splits. And there are 10 banelings being produced right now. Mother of Christ, the banelings. Pokmarine's going to have to trade very lightly here. He does have +1 attack, he does have stim, and he does have combat shields. As I was saying before, the Spire is being completed, so we're actually going to see... the hold command! Baneling's doing a considerable amount of damage to the Marines, just going in. Pokmarine doing as much as he can to actually split. But the Baneling's just doing such terrible damage. Pokmarine loses just about all of his Marines but 2. He's going to try and go ahead and get a scout here. But even with those amazing splits, the Banelings, there are just too many Banelings. Spire is about to be completed here. So we are going to see some Baneling, Zergling, and Mutalisk play. Nova sending out Strike Force Zerglings to gauge the strength again of the wall, see if it's down, see if it's up, see if he all-in with all of his units. Is Marine... Oh, he actually fights away the Zerglings, doesn't have to worry about the wall just yet, but he's got another concern coming his way. There are 6 Mutalisks just about to be hatched. This is 5 seconds. 5-second timer, and Mutalisks should be ready to go. There they are. Now, the unfortunate thing about this map is it is extremely difficult to defend against Mutaplay. Mutaplay itself is hard to defend against, but when you have this kind of entry for Mutalisks, there's really not a whole lot turrets can even do for you, unless you're willing to invest a lot in static defense, and it's just not worth it. It also makes drop play very difficult, because these Mutalisks, for instance, are going to see this drop, and they're going to kill the dropship. There's not a whole lot Pokmarine's going to be able to do, unless he distracts Mutalisks with his Marines. But obviously, the payoff was going to be in killing that dropship, regardless of what fell out of it. Pokmarine being very clever, going to have a multiple drop up here on the natural expansion. There's nothing here to defend it except a queen. There are 51 Zerglings and 5 Banelings. It's a formidable force to say the least. Let's check out their army supply. The army supply is actually pretty close. Mutalisk just now getting inside the base. Pokmarine doing an excellent job completing that turret. Excellent defense by Pokmarine, and in response, that dropship's just hanging out here. And now we're going to see the drop play. 5 Banelings, 7 Mutalisks, and a lot of Zerglings. So hopefully Pokmarine can do a lot of damage here. He needs to do a lot of damage, and it's natural to slow Nova down, but he's sitting at still 50-something, 56. All his Marines going to get picked up. Nice drop catch by Pokmarine. Pokmarine killing off 12 drones right there. Excellent play. Dropship going to get picked off again. Really tough situation here. Nova has gained so much momentum, it's going to be extremely difficult to cut off his momentum at this point. He is going to be taking a 4th down here. And this is what happens at Dayless Point. It's extremely difficult to fight Zerg on this map. If you let Zerg get a 2nd or 3rd early on, it is so incredibly difficult if you don't put on immediate pressure to stop the momentum from building. Widowmine's going to come into play here, hopefully for some from splash effect. The Mutalisks are just going to come right inside the base and just start doing as much damage as they possibly can to the production of Pokmarine. These SCVs again are going to be attacked. These poor SCVs are like, why? Why did I get sent to this outpost? Couldn't you just give me an easy one, like Hello Kitty Adventure Island? Why did I get sent to Dayless Point? What did I do wrong? Pokmarine, not being dissuaded, he will continue. He will march on. There are 11 Mutalisks, 8 Banelings, and 58 Zerglings on for a Zerg ground force. Army supply is still even, but in terms of maneuverability, Zerg is heavily mobile compared to relatively slow units.